Hello everyone, Miss Red here. How are you today? I hope you are doing good. Today, we are going to talk about one of the common visual arts, which is painting. After this video discussion, you will be able to identify the different media, technique, and styles in painting, and you will be able to paint using your chosen media and subject of art. Are you ready? Let's get started. Let's start with a definition of painting. Painting class is a branch of the visual arts in which color derived from any of the numerous organic or synthetic substances is applied to various surfaces to create a representational or abstract picture or design. It is the practice of applying paint, pigment, color, or other medium to a surface. The application of the medium is commonly applied to the base with a brush, but other objects may be used. In the art term, it describes both the act and the result, which is called painting. This time class, let's go to the media, technique, and styles of painting. In the course of its history, painting class has taken several major forms, involving distinctive media and techniques. The techniques employed in drawing are basic to all painting, except perhaps the most recent avant-garde forms. First one is the fresco painting, which reached its heights in the late Middle Ages and throughout the Renaissance, involves the application of paint to wet or fresh Italian fresco, plaster or to dry plaster. Example for this type of painting is the ceiling of Sistine Chapel by Michelangelo. Second is a tempera painting. Another older form involves the use of powdered pigments mixed with egg yolk applied to a prepared surface, usually a wood panel covered with linen. Example for this type of painting is Madonna and Child by Duccio. Third is the oil painting, which largely supplanted the use of fresco and tempera during the Renaissance, was traditionally thought to have been developed by the late Middle Ages by the Flemish brothers, Jan van Eyck and Hubert van Eyck. It is now believed to have been invented much earlier. Example for this type of painting is Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Fourth are other techniques such as enamel, encaustic painting, gouache, grisaille, and watercolor painting. The use of acrylic painting class has been very popular in recent times. This water-based medium is easily applied, dries quickly, and does not darken with the passage of time. The fifth method of painting thought to have been used by cave painters involved blowing pigments through tubes into cave walls. A somewhat analogous method is that of those 20th century painters who dribble pigments from their brushes into canvas. Let's go to painting and their media. The medium of painting is a complex of materials and conventions, both of which have been modified and augmented over the years. Its materials tend to be various paints and the surfaces which receive and support them. Its conventions are usages of these materials. Let's start with dry media. The first one under dry media is pencil. The graphite pencil, sometimes called a lead pencil, probably has made more drawings than any other medium. Pencils are cheap, readily available, and easy to work with. Second is metal point. Metal point drawings are characterized by a fine elegance, a finished perfection. It is the ancestor of the graphite pencil, an old technique that was especially popular during the Renaissance. Third is charcoal. Charcoal's line is dark. Sometimes it's very soft and harsh. It is actually burnt sticks of wood, the best quality charcoal coming from the special fine wood heated in a kiln until only carbon remains. Fourth is chalk and crayon. The main difference between chalks and crayons is the binder, the substance that holds particles of pigment together. Chalks have non-fat binders, whereas crayons have a fatty or greasy binder. Chalks, being drier and more crumbly, blend well and can be overlaid, two or more colors on top of another, to produce shaded effects. The second type of medium is liquid media. The first one under liquid media is pen and ink. Ink flowing into paper gives a smooth, uninterrupted line. A major variable in the ink drawing is the relative thickness or thinness of lines, which depends on the pinpoint used. These thick and thin lines are referred to as calligraphic or gestural. Second, under liquid media is brush and ink. When ink is diluted in water and applied with a brush, the result is called a wash. Third, under liquid media is encaustic. The pigment particles are suspended in hot beeswax, which must be kept at the proper temperature for spreading on a support, often a wood panel. The wax gives a clear, luminous quality that almost no other medium can rival. Fourth is fresco. To make a fresco, the artist paints in water, suspended pigment on a surface of freshly spread plaster. As the plaster dries, the colors are absorbed into it, so that the two substances, paint and plaster, fuse. Every touch of the brush in fresco is a commitment. The fifth medium under liquid media is oil. Oil painting was invented early in the 15th century by the great Netherlandish artist Jan van Eyck. The outstanding characteristic of oil paint is that it dries very slowly. It can be worked in an almost infinite range of consistencies, from very thick to very thin. Sixth medium under liquid media is gouache. Common term is water paint, splash or body color. When opaque or translucent white is added to watercolors, the result is known as gouache. The white may be either mixed with paints or coated on the support before the watercolors are applied. The third type of medium is synthetic media. The first painter known to have adapted these paints to art was the Mexican artist David Alfaro Siqueiros. The first under synthetic media is water-based acrylics. The most popular synthetic paints which were introduced in the 1950s. Acrylics offer quick drying time, pure and intense colors, and great flexibility in methods of application. The second, under synthetic media, is thinned down acrylics. Can be shot through an airbrush, a tool that sprays a controlled mist of paint, as in the work of Audrey Flack. This time class, let's move to the different arts related to painting. The first one is collage. Collage is a French word that means pasting or gluing. In art terms, it refers to the practice of attaching objects, such as bits of paper or cloth, to the surface of a canvas or other support, as well as to the resultant artwork. Guitar, sheet music, and glass is one of Pablo Picasso's earliest collage, perhaps the very first. Second is mosaic. The mosaic artist paints by assembling small colored stones, bits of glass or colored clay tiles, into a pattern or pictorial image. Mosaic works are set in a wall or ceiling, or even a floor, because the durability of the material allows it to be walked upon. Third art related to painting is printmaking. Prints differ from other works of art in two important respects. First, they are made by an indirect process. The artist does not draw or paint directly on the work of art, but instead creates the surface that makes the work of art. Second, the printing process results in many nearly identical images, which is why it is called an art of multiples. Each image class is called an impression, is considered an original work of art. There are four basic methods for making an art print: relief, intaglio, lithography, and screen printing. The fourth art that is related to painting is stained glass. It is a translucent colored glass. Small pieces of this glass are combined to form the desired image and held together by bands of lead. It is composed of windows with small panels of dyed and painted glass, held in strips of cast lead and mounted in metal framework. Fifth is tapestry. It is a hand-woven textile or cloth weaved, typically decorated with figures, and used as a wall-hanging curtain, carpet, or furniture covering. Sixth is showing. It is the delineation of form upon a surface, usually a plane, by means of lines and tints of shading. It may be a sketch showing the general organization or design of a product being planned. It may be done with various mediums: pencil, ink, charcoal, or chalk. Next art related to painting is photography. It is a method of picture making based on principles of light, optics, and chemistry. It comes from Greek word which means drawing with lights. When a photographer's creativity extends beyond technical expertise, photography becomes an art. This time, class, let's move to the elements of painting. The first one is intensity. It is a term used to describe the brightness or dullness of a color. Artists describe the attributes of color in a painting based on the amount of light that an object receives. Second element is color and tone. These are the essence of painting as pitch and rhythm are of music. Color is highly subjective, but has observable psychological effects. Black is associated with mourning in the West, but in the East, white is. Some painters, like Wath, Kandinsky, Newton, have written their own color theory. Third element is space and light. The relationships inherent between space and light are sometimes placed under the heading of atmospheric or aerial perspective. This aspect considers only one of the ways in which space and light are related: the manner in which human perception sees objects in distance, in less detail, and in more muted colors than objects that are close. Last element is rhythm. If one defines rhythm as a pause incorporated into a sequence, then there can be rhythm in paintings. These pauses allow creative force to intervene and add new creations, or melody, coloration. The distribution of form or any kind of information is of crucial importance in a given work of art and indirectly affects the aesthetical value of that work. This is because the aesthetical value is functionality dependent. Example, the freedom of movement of perception is perceived as beauty. Free flow of energy, in art as well as in the forms of technique, directly contribute to the aesthetical value. That's it! Are you learning? I hope you are. If you have questions or clarifications, please address it in our face-to-face session. Thank you so much everyone for listening and have a great day. Bye!